What is up, guys? I am Warpath, and I'm back with more oxygen not included. And so basically, where we are at, we're doing pretty good. We've got the basic setup right here going on. This is pretty much all we're gonna need. Let's go ahead and go in 2x speed here. But I do have them working on some research now, which is really great. The first thing we're going to get is the decor. I need to build a ton of these sculpting blocks to really amp up the decor, because as you can see, we actually do have some stress rising right now. Maria is basically requesting decor is her issue, so we're going to go ahead and do that, make sure that all works out. We're really going to have to keep up on the algae situation. That could really be our downfall if we aren't careful. But yeah, basically, the goal with this episode is I want to kind of show you guys what you need to have for a sustainable base. It's literally like the minimum requirement that will allow you to survive until the late game, which is where you can start getting into like some of the really high-end like plumbing stuff and power situations, and all the stuff that is really cool about this game. But you have to start here, guys. This is where you've got to start. Basically, it's always going to be 3 duplicants, making sure that you have exactly the right amount of oxygen generation, which we are not doing right now, which is bad. So we'll have to figure that out a little bit. You see, all of this open area is all being... Look at this oxygen just flowing into here. This is bad. This is not what we want, so we're going to have to create a door here. And the best way to do that is to actually just get rid of this stuff right here, and then we can put a manual airlock in here. I don't know if you guys know this, but manual airlock is now one of the base starting things that you can get, so that's kind of nice. So we'll go ahead and put that in there. This way it's going to close off all the air from being sucked into here. That's going to make it so that we don't have to produce as much oxygen, and things will be a lot better for us in general. Our food situation is great. We're still running on our rations, which is what we're going to continue to do for a while. Remember, guys, this is only cycle 5, so we have quite a ways to go. Generally speaking, this research is going to take about 30 or 40 cycles probably, to be perfectly honest. So there's going to be a large part of the game that I do kind of skip over. However, I think the reason why I'm going to do it is just because there's not much that happens once we do get to that stage. It's pretty much just upkeep until we have everything researched. And that's how I would suggest you going about building your base too. Just because the research is so important to get done right away. And I suppose there are different theories of it. Some people like to research just the tier 1 first. And then kind of go off into there, and then reactivate your research stations and go for all tier 2 at once, and then tier 3, so on and so forth. And that works for some people too, so it's not a end-all be-all, you have to do this to win type of game. No, there's plenty of different things that you guys can do. Our stress situation is not great. They're kind of unhappy about the whole setup we've got going on right here, so we are going to have to fix that for them basically right away. One thing I do want to do, I want to expand this out into here, because we need to put as much decor in here as possible so these guys aren't constantly stressed, and that's going to be our main focus for today's episode, I do believe, is getting all of that in there. But you can kind of take a look. This is really all you need, guys. I mean, it's everything. You've got... Okay, great. This is exactly what we need. We're actually going to be deconstructing some of this stuff. And this building... By the way, I don't know if you guys know this, but deconstructing actually doesn't... You don't waste resources doing it, so it's really kind of awesome. Unfortunately, it is a bit of a waste. to deconstruct the battery, but it's not the end of the world because it's manually generated, so. We'll deconstruct all this stuff. Basically, I need there to be enough space in between everything here in order to build decor everywhere, because that is going to be our next big thing that we go for. The other thing is we're going to need to build storage compactors down here so they don't have all this stuff down here, because that does take away from the decor. Yeah. So debris everywhere. Minus 42 decor. That'll do it, guys. That will do it. It's actually really, really big. Negative. But we're going to need to build sculpting blocks here, here. Then we'll go ahead and get some more batteries going on like here. Another sculpting block here with another battery right here. And then once this stuff gets cleared out, we will actually put the research station next to it with a space in between, so we can actually build the decor right there. Then we'll build another one right there for it. Micro musher is the next big thing. So we need food. Can I fit it right there? I can. It's a little bit drab, but I think it'll be alright. We're going to have enough other decor in this area that it should fill it up pretty well, I think. So once all this stuff gets going on here, we can then go down here and we can build our storage compactors. Now again, I want to be careful so as not to... That should be fine. Should be pretty much most of the storage that we're going to need for a little while. And again, we're going to build up some hot decor here. Now, you guys may be thinking, this seems like a waste of, resource and stuff. It's really not, because it's sandstone. I mean, it's not the best for... it's just sandstone. Like, there's so much of it in this game that you don't have to worry about it. If I was building it out of, like, algae or something, there's no way. I would never do it. Can they not reach this? No, they're fine. They can reach that. Just being lazy. Alright, so yeah, that should be going on here. Let's get a triple speed here. But that should pretty much solve our decor problems going on. Yeah. Next steps are going to be to start working into this algae stuff here. And up here, all of this algae needs to be ours. We pretty much have to have it. Then we'll start moving up here to this algae. I mean, we're gonna be spelunking quite a bit. There's like 2 things of algae here I'll probably have to go and get. Alright, we have new duplicant, but we're not going to be taking them. Basically, no duplicant, I don't care how good they are, is going to be taken. Ever. At least not until like the end game, when we're completely set up with how our base is supposed to be. At which point, I suppose we could go for it, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. It's kind of one of those things that if your goal is to survive as long as physically possible in this game, the best way to do that is to have the fewest mouths to feed and the fewest lungs to provide oxygen for. Marie, why are you stressed out? Like what? It's probably because you friggin' are terrible at art. What are you doing? Anyway. What is that? Like, it looks like somebody took a bite out of a friggin' sandstone sculpture. It's disgusting. Oh boy. How's our algae looking? 760? Wow, that's nothing. We are screwed. We'll have to go diving into here too, I think, pretty soon. Oh gosh. What I'm probably going to have to do, it's gonna be kind of weird, but I want to get this all funneled into like one sort of square here that we can kind of use and kind of constantly recycle into here. But it's gonna take a little bit of weird building to do so. Alright, we do need to go ahead and set what's going to be in here. We're gonna do all except for... Oh shoot, we were gonna put our thing down here too, weren't we? All except organic. All except organic. All except organic. Basically, I'm gonna do that all the way down the line here. because organic does put off some bad stuff, and we want to keep it separated. Well, most organic. It's actually just specifically the dirt or whatever this is. And then we'll actually want to set that up here, but we may have to left tile on over. Tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna build a ladder up to here. And then I'm gonna get that all gotten rid of. It says unreachable, but I don't. Okay. Why is that unreachable? They should be able to get to that. I don't see why. Maybe this is too deep? Is that possible? So if we cancel this stuff here, and then we just take the ladder like across to there, they should be able to get that then. Okay, that'll work. So they'll do that, which is really what we need. Our food is doing okay. We are not producing enough oxygen, however, and I'm not sure why. I think we should be... Is it just because of like up here? This is actually kind of weird. So I may have to build a couple algae terrariums. Usually I've had it's like been just perfect with 2 algae deoxidizers. So it's a little bit frustrating. And Marie is really stressed out all the time, I guess. So this is a problem for that as well. And in fact, actually, we're gonna have to get a massage table online for her, just because she's got some issues going on. Kind of annoying, I'll admit, but I guess what can you do? Alright, so that did do exactly what I wanted it to, which is nice. I wonder if that was why it says it's unreachable. I don't understand that, because it can come down here. I think it's just too deep, honestly, which is really interesting. I've never seen that before. So we'll get that online. There's the problem, though, that if I build this wall here, yeah, that's going to be an issue. Actually, I'm not sure if it matters. Yeah, because they get rid of the thing first and then build the wall, so yeah, that's not great. Hopefully, however, getting all of this stuff picked up will add a lot to the room. We're gonna go ahead and add more decor because it's still not great up here, and can't have people living in a horrible looking place, right? I really need to get just need like a little bit more right here. It sucks. Alright, maybe if I go like this, and then like this, we can dig this stuff out. And we just go like that. So that way, they'll dig this out, and that way I can start reaching some of this stuff, and this may actually lower the water level enough to the point where I can just build like the rest of the way over here. That's kind of the hope. We'll see what happens though. And Marie's stress is going down though, which is good. Not sure if it's because of the decor or what. Probably, considering that all of this stuff is being swept up, which is great. Let's look at oxygen again. Okay, so it's not great up here anymore. We're definitely not producing enough oxygen at all. So honestly, let's go ahead and get started on the farming, because we're gonna need some algae terrariums going on here. I don't want to use too many of these. Like 2, in my opinion, is actually more than I want to use to begin with. But I don't really know that I have too much of a choice with it, to be honest. So we're just gonna, yeah, we're gonna have to use some algae terrariums. That's how it's gonna have to be. If you can see, our algae situation is getting better. It's still not great, but it is better. You can just go right up here to breathe if you need. Yeah, she's cold. That's a good point. I haven't even taken a look at that yet. So yeah, when they're working in the water, they do get cold. This stuff is all like, it's in Celsius. Why is that? Let's go ahead and change that. We can't be having that right now. Temperature units. It says Fahrenheit right there. What's going on here? All right. Good to go. Did that change anything? Yes, it did. Okay, apparently you have to go ahead and switch it every time. But if we take a look now, this is a nice, very warm 85 degrees in here. So it's pretty warm in here, but up here where they sleep is about 70 degrees, which is, I don't know about you guys, but that's pretty nice. So they have gone ahead and done that. I don't think that's going to be enough though to lower that water level to where we need it to be. What else can we do? I suppose the best route would be to go like this way. And then just kind of, we'll put those there so that they have a way out. But then we'll dig like this out right here. Hopefully that allows, what is that? Like, why does that do that? My goal is to get it below this so that there's no like water spillage into here, and then we can make a water reservoir down here. That's really the goal of all of this. Maybe I'm going way too much into it, and maybe it's really not necessary, I don't know, but it's fine. So our decor is still not great, mostly because of this stuff on the ground. That really kills the decor. So we're gonna go ahead and prioritize a sweep on all of this stuff in here. Let's just get everything picked up so that it is dealt with and we don't have to even think about it. Because what's her face is having some issues with the decor apparently. Which, whatever, I guess. That's fine. We will have to start going up into the copper deposits up there. I think once we get that, we'll need, I mean, this is a ton of copper, which is phenomenal. Like that, it's probably going to last us for most of it. We may have to go into, I don't even see like steel or whatever it is anywhere. I really am excited to get into this stuff because I want to see, like, I want to experiment with it and see what kind of things we can do. Some of the stuff I've tried, I've put like space heaters around like a couple of storage bins that only held water, and it worked. I mean, it definitely melted it into like a small puddle on the ground, but it was very slow, and you can't put it down like in the water. So you would have to like set up something where you had like a couple of heaters and a couple of storage compactors that like trickled down into your water supply. So if we did it like here, it would have to like trickle down into the water. I don't know, it's really weird. So I think we're gonna have to find a better way to kind of deal with that situation. Hopefully this should make our decor wonderful now. Whoa, stop it, why is that happening? Okay, yeah, as you can see, the decor is starting to look great. However, we do have the issue of not having enough oxygen, so that could be an issue, right? Maybe a little bit. And we are burning through quite a bit of algae, so we're gonna have to work on something with that. Probably the algae terrariums are going to be next. So the algae terrarium uses 30 grams per second of algae and 300 grams per second of water. This doesn't use any water at all. However, it uses 1,000 grams per second of algae. So it seriously kills our algae situation. However, if you have tons of water, which we kind of do in this circumstance, the algae terrarium is a little bit better. I don't know though. Ideally, we'd kind of put some algae terrariums like down here maybe, and then put some lights above them to kind of give them the maximum boost that we can. We'll see. We'll see what happens, guys. I'm not too sure yet. However, we do have everything swept up, and our decor looks pretty great right now. We'll have to get rid of some of these stupid abstract. Like, this is disgusting. These are terrible, guys. Looks like they have started to get into the mediocre stuff, so They're a little bit better than they were previously. But yeah, that's kind of the idea there. We're getting close. I think this is pretty much where we're going to be at. We need to fix our oxygen just a little bit here. If you take a look, actually, let's look at the report from yesterday. So we're just barely under what we need to be. I mean, I guess it's 43 kilograms, so we definitely could be closer on that front. I really don't want to have to use another deoxidizer. I've said it a couple times, I know. So once this research is done, I'm going to build a couple of terrariums, and I think that should pretty much do it for the base being stabilized. And you guys can kind of take a look there and see what it is exactly that you need. I mean, this is just your basic core setup that you need. Once you get to this point, do all your research that you possibly can, and then start doing more with the game. Start looking into like your power generation, your plumbing, your gases, your liquids, all of that fun stuff that I know personally I really look forward to in the game. But this is the preliminary stuff that you have to get through. So there you guys have it. Yeah, I don't know. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I have to say thank you all for watching, and that is going to be it for today. Next episode, I do think we'll probably focus solely on, I mean, we'll get our oxygen online first, and then we're going to focus solely on the research. So I'm pretty much going to do that all off camera as far as the research stuff goes, and just maintain the base. And then I'll bring you guys back once we can really start playing with stuff. So look forward to that next episode. But yeah, anyway guys, thank you all once again for watching. It means so much to me to have you guys come out and hang out with me, and it really is a blast. I've enjoyed every second of this here. So yeah, anyways, I will see you guys next time. Peace out.